I saw you putting out some posts about this recently. How has concussion impacted your life, and how's your health these days, Rob?
Yeah, well, to get to the second part, my health is phenomenal, and that's one of the reasons that it's important for me to speak on concussion damage because I feel like there's a lot more misinformation out there than there is of actual facts, and having gone through it firsthand. I learned a lot, so I'm happy to share. I've had self-diagnosed, of course, but I've had hundreds of concussions throughout my career by my own account, and that means
Mm.
it wasn't a doctor that told me, but after learning everything that I've learned, I'm under the belief that if you're, and this is exactly how Chris Nowinski told me, he said, assume it's a concussion until it's proven that it's not. If you get your head rocked. So for me, being a professional wrestler, I just thought it was part of the game. You know what I mean? So nobody knew that there could be. I mean, we kind of knew there was a term punch drunk that's always been around, which mostly applied just to boxers, and
Yeah.
yeah, that guy kind of beat his brain up a little too much. He's not right. But we didn't have the studies and the case studies, like with all the NFL players studying their brains, and then Chris Nowinski bringing it to the world of professional wrestling. But from my own experience, there was, like I said, countless times where I would get my head rocked. It could just be from my own falling backwards or just hitting the back of my head. It also could have been from a chair shot to the front of my head.
Hmm.
And I've experienced so many different symptoms that were immediate, such as sometimes everything was in slow motion
Mm.
for just a few seconds. Sometimes the sound would go out. Um, sometimes I would see floaters. Sometimes everything would be spinning. All these different things that I would experience, I would shake it off, and then a few seconds later, it would always, always, always go away.
Yeah.
Except once or twice, it was like sensitivity to light kind of lasted like the rest of the night. And there was just one particular, it wasn't even a bad bump or crash or anything. It was so simple, almost like a roll through
Yeah.
where the back of my head just hit right, I guess. Sometimes I wonder if it was even my ponytail, like like poking into a certain spot in my brain because there's like a knot back there with the ponytail. So it's possible, but
Yeah.
um, a knot meaning the thing that holds it. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I had, after this one particular thing in November of 2016, double vision. And I did just like I always do. I backed up to the corner and I grabbed the referee, and I just expected it to shake off, but it didn't. And I said, I need a second. I'm kind of rocked. And it wasn't going away. And you can only buy so much time till it feels awkward. And
Mm.
so I thought, okay, I'll just continue on. And by the time I walk halfway across the ring, I'm sure I'll be back to normal. Well, this double vision stayed with me. And, I didn't have headaches and loss of memory and anything like that, but I had double vision. And if I closed either eye, I could see fine, but both of them, I'd see two of everything. And then I had to drive home like that, and I'm sure I'll be fine tomorrow. Well, I wasn't. I actually made a documentary on this called Headstrong, which is on Amazon. The
Okay.
documentary was originally intended to cover this comedy tour that I was on, but since I had double vision the whole time, it kind of took on its own agenda. And at first, I wasn't too happy about sharing that personal information. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
but I would do little interviews off to the side and say, just in case. Well, the double vision stayed with me for the better part of 2 years. So it became such a big part of my life that, I had to share it. And I'm glad I did
Mm.
because I know that it's helped a lot of people that need to hear from someone else that's gone through what they might be going through or something similar. Either way, experience is the best teacher, and I learned a lot. And I would get headaches sometimes with certain patterns, in the wall or steps or checkerboards, things where it would mess with my mind. I couldn't tell the depth difference sometimes on things that were like parallel, like steps. Looking down was weird, and it threw me so far off my game. And it was right in the middle of a point in life where I'm already like trying to take on all the responsibilities because I've been separated not too long ago, and I'm still learning to try to pay my own bills and stuff and handle all that. And now I'm trying to find out what's going on with my brain, and hopefully, I'm sorry, fortunately, I had Chris Nowinski, because otherwise, man, there's who do you call? What do you do? I was making and missing so many appointments just because I was so thrown off that was frustrating me and making me feel even worse about myself. And
Yeah.
then I went to one eye doctor in Redondo Beach that actually said all I needed was new glasses. It was just my prescription. So there's people out there ready to take your money
Yeah.
anyway without even helping you. And for me, I got the MRIs and lots of regular visits to the neurologist, and it was vision therapy that actually helped me out and that
Okay.
eventually got me back on track. And I've got some friends that say oxygen therapy helped them. Of course, there's cannabis, which I think has been a big contribution towards keeping my brain protected for so long that it didn't happen many, many, many times and many years ago to this extent. And there's, the people, now there's like lion's mane, like mushrooms, and there's a lot of like holistic things to try, but then also the education has come so far along, and we're all still part of it. We're all still kind of part of the experiment. Because I would ask the doctor and the therapist, I'd be like, am I going to get better? Or am I just always going to be like this? No, no, you'll get better. I'd
Yeah.
say, but is it going to take days, weeks, years? They'd say, I don't know. Your eyes will tell us. And that would get so frustrating. And I realized they didn't know. It was up to me. And eventually I did get better. And then I was testing back to normal for me, which is a pretty crappy vision anyway. I've worn glasses since I was 2 years old. So
Right.
so I'm not, unfortunately not going to get back to perfect because I was never there. But the double vision went away, and I learned a lot through going through this, and also I learned that a lot of people have misconceptions. The fear behind CTE, which definitely warrants some caution for sure, but it's so hyped up that I think it could get in the way of somebody's agenda when they should be filled with hope and not hype.